Hello, Cancer. Welcome to This Is Not Legal Advice for your weekly reading of the week of July 27, 2026. I am your host, TINLA, and you know what? I'm feeling a little weird this week, so I went ahead and pulled some decks I consider a little weird, little off the beaten path. And then we're going to start with the Fantod pack by an author named Gorey. So let's find out what's going there to get the idea of what Spirit's got cooking for you this week, the theme here. The Blue Dog. Okay, now, again, this is a very unique deck, so bear with me. I got to find the Blue Dog for some keywords to see where we are heading this week. Cancer. Let's take a look. I appreciate your patience, and while you're doing the patient thing, like, share, subscribe. It says October, loss of one of the senses, Weltschmerz. I have to look that up. That looks German, but I don't know. Maybe Germanic stuff is of meaning to you. Unnatural vice, disorders of the knee, diseases of the tongue, disturbances, miscarriage of a child, an accident in a garage, dementia, fraud, a quarrel, and wispiness. Interesting. The Blue Dog. So maybe some of those words, one of those words means something to you, maybe something significant happened in October for you. Maybe you're dealing with some physical ailments. So let's get some clarification using another deck I consider a little off, okay? And this is my Compos Mentis Tarot. And the reason I consider it a little bit off is because the artist, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was a printing error or what have you, I asked the artist, but I didn't get an answer yet, is the Fool is normally the 0 card, but in this deck it's a 1. So it causes all the other major arcana to be a little bit off. So anyway, maybe you're a little bit off. Maybe you're feeling a little bit off this week. So Spirit, what do you have to say to my Cancer friends? What do you have to say to my Cancer friends? Okay. We have the Ace of Swords showing up here and the Knight of Swords. So far we can see that you are in your mental state, your mind this week. You know, you're very much getting some clarity despite the oddness of this week. But I'm almost getting with this Knight of Swords kind of striking out in any direction, almost like you're getting some kind of sense of what's going on in your life, again, in a clear way, but it's clarity from like one eye. You see that? It's not complete clarity. It's like from a certain perspective. It's not the whole picture. It's clarity from a certain perspective. And because you're not getting the whole picture this week, you're kind of striking out at everybody. Like, Lord help those who meet your path this week. I hate to say it, but like you're very much in a come and get some kind of way this week. Yeah, you're just charging in. You're trying to figure out what's going on, trying to get to that other half of the truth, but right now you just think what you see is the whole truth. And what I'm getting here from Spirit is there's something going on behind the scenes that you still don't see, even though you think you know the whole truth. Tell me more, Spirit. The Queen of Wands. Yeah, it's kind of, again, we have another, like, a face that's obscured by these flowers. Like, something may be presenting itself to you in a way that looks more pleasant than it actually is. Like, you're wanting to see this situation through, like, rose-colored lenses. But you are still somewhat blinded, you know, even though we're going through this week, there's, you know, like I said, it's a little bit odd. It's like, you're not seeing that as odd. You really truly believe you have the full picture, and there's something behind the scenes that's a little better looking than you think it is. The way you're seeing it right now, or at the beginning of the week, Cancer, is a very negative perspective. Like, you might think that something is brewing that is negative and bad and just is something you're kind of nervous about. And this girl almost looks like she's wearing kind of a wedding dress. So this might be a love reading for you, where maybe you're concerned, again, as a, you know, you might be in a relationship where you feel like your partner is not being completely truthful with you. And so you're kind of lashing out at that person. And behind the scenes, you know, there is maybe some beautiful stuff going on, but there is somebody who is a very vibrant, passionate person. And I'm almost getting that if you're that aggressive with your lash out here, and I'm getting misinterpretation of the totality of the picture, this person is going to kind of hide and run away from you and become a little more mysterious, and may actually retreat from you at some level. So what I'm getting a very strong sense of with Spirit here is be careful, like that with this, especially even with this Blue Dog, like be careful that you are not you're not seeing completely what's on the other side of this door, right? You're not getting that, and be careful what you're lashing out at. Be careful the accusations you're making. That's what I'm really feeling, is accusations. And you're already down in the dumps about this. Like, you are convinced, you are absolutely convinced that something is wrong here, that something is amiss, that something is terrible, that, you know, you're going to have your heart broken, and you're just going right into that negative energy of, oh my gosh, what if? And you're already starting to plan the what if. You know, how do I get over this? How do I cope? How do I move forward? And, you know, you just feel like everybody's reaching for your energy, everybody's pulling at you, and the person that you thought was going to be your stability here, it's actually not, again, from your perspective. I'm not saying that's true. I'm saying that's your perspective this week. And again, we have more swords energy. So just a lot of like thinking followed by like swift action. You know, you're taking action in a very sort of blinded way. Can I get, what is it, this Ten of Swords? Spirit, can you tell me more about what is it this Cancer viewer sees as kind of dying or going away? What is it that they're seeing or they think they're seeing? What is it? The Queen of Cups. Yeah. You think you're going to have to go back inside into your shell and take your love with you and regroup, and almost like you're getting ready to put yourself back on the market, Cancer. I mean, Cancer is a water sign, as you guys know, and guys and gals. And, you know, we have almost like this beautiful clamshell here, very Venus energy, right? The birth of Aphrodite, that picture, you know, where she's coming out of the sea foam. Maybe there's somewhere in Italy that is special to you. But, you know, very birth of this of Aphrodite, this sea foam, this, you know, consistent with your energy. You're like, I'm going to retreat into my own energy, into my healing phase, into my Zen phase. You're already prepping to do that. You're already kind of shutting down. And I want to know, what is it you're so scared of, Cancer? What is it you're so scared of this person doing? You're definitely in a very emotional way. And you're coming across like, I'm going to handle it cool, calm, and collected. But you're very much torn inside. Oh, this is the one card I have to kind of cover up in this deck because, you know, the YouTube gods are merciless. So we'll do this. Hold on 1 second. Okay. What you're scared of here is the Fool. You're scared that you're going to have to start all over again. You might have been in a relationship with somebody for a longer period of time, and you feel like you are going to have to start all over. And you're a little nervous about it, but you know you have the inner emotional strength to do it. And I'm getting you're just like leaping off into that with the Fool. You're just going right ahead. And this person has, I almost feel like the partner that you're with, if you're with somebody, and this is applicable to you, in a romantic sense, is so confused as to why you're just being so defensive, so weirded out, so nervous around them, and almost like you're retreating into yourself. You're pulling your emotions back, and you're worried you got to start over, but also you're kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to do it now. So you're almost feeling like, while you're nervous about starting over, you're like almost biting the bullet and just doing it. And this person's still sitting there like, why are you starting over? Like, we're still here, right? And in the card, this woman is nude. So it's almost like a rebirth. Like you feel like I need to totally start over, wipe the slate clean, and just do it all over again. And what's the challenge this week for Cancer? What's the challenge? I mean, I kind of feel like I know the challenge, which is incomplete information. You're not working with full information here. What is the challenge, please? What is the challenge? And then we'll find out what's really going on. And there's something on the floor here. Of course. The Seven of Swords, the Nine of Wands, and the Hierophant. Okay? I'm going to pick this one up off the floor first. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So you, my dears, Seven of Swords, you feel like there's something sus going on. Somebody's hiding something from you. You really feel like there's somebody that's just really not being truthful with you, that is not being honest with you, and this person, you know, again, looking at our keywords here, might have a birthday in October, so it could be a Libra or a Scorpio you're dealing with. You know, this might be somebody of German ancestry. All the different words that we talked about earlier associated with this particular card in the top left, you know, it's, what do we say, miscarriage of a child. It could be that, you know, not to get too deep with it, but that's what we're doing here. It could be that maybe you recently, and I'm sorry for your loss, you know, miscarried a child, and you're wondering, like, does this person actually still care about me? Do they view me as someone who is broken or incapable of carrying a child? That obviously is for a very select group of folks for you. You might be feeling like a fraud in your own life here. Like, why would this person love me? And so you're naturally suspicious of why they're around you when you yourself are like, I'm wearing a mask, right? You think they're wearing a mask because you're wearing a mask. There's the projection is strong, Cancer. Strong, strong, strong. And so because you feel like that, you're putting that on them. And Nine of Wands, you know, you're tired of fighting this feeling. You've got all these sort of, I hate to say voices in your head because it sounds a little cuckoo, but I don't mean it like that. I mean, like, you've got these feelings of doubt in your mind that are just causing you to stay stagnant and freak out a little bit. And you feel like you've been working for this relationship trying to see clearly, but you're not. And honestly, you saw a future with this person, with the Hierophant energy. And like I said, this deck is a little off. So that's part of the reading here, as I'm getting you're a little off, Cancer. And I'm not trying to chastise you. I'm just trying to show you what you can't see, because you're missing something. You're missing a very big piece of this puzzle. Something's a little off because you saw yourself with this person. I'm almost getting phoenixy energy here with this like fiery, smoky thing in the background. You know, you maybe even have a second chance with this person. Like, you guys have been around this little carousel before. You've done this before, and maybe that's what's freaking you out, is like, oh, it didn't work out so great last time. Maybe we're just gonna, you know, we're doomed to fail here. You're in a very, very negative energy, and it might have to do with the Saturn retrograde that we're going through right now, where you feel like your uppance is coming, your karma is coming back around, and with the Seven of Wands, you're being very defensive. Very defensive. Like, this person may even be coming to you and talking to you and saying, hey, what's going on? Why are you being like this? Why are you shutting down emotionally? Why are you freaking out and being so defensive? Why does it look like you're just kind of shutting me down so you can move on, move forward? What's going on? I thought we had something good here. So what is it that Cancer can't see? What is it that's being obscured from Cancer's view right now? What is it that Cancer can't see about the partner we're talking about here, the person we're talking about? Queen of Swords, that they're being truthful with you, that they're standing in their truth, that, you know, it's almost like you spying over here, but you're only seeing one side of their face, right? They are being very truthful with you, and it's almost like you can't believe it because of something internal to you. Show me what else they can't see. Show me more about what they can't see, what my Cancer viewers can't see. Show me what else, please. What else can't they see that they need to see right now, Spirit? Thank you. The Emperor, okay, and the Page of Wands. All right, you are in a masculine energy, irrespectively of gender, sex, what have you. This Emperor energy is the energy of go, do, action, right? It's standing in your power. It's all that kind of stuff, but it can also be very rigid, very stuck in your ways, just very tough. It's, you know, it's the antithesis to the Empress energy, which is the divine feminine, which is that receptive, peaceful, patient, understanding energy. You're in a very rigid way right now. And because you're so stuck, I mean, look at this. It's almost like you don't want to see. He's got his head like leaned back. He's not wanting to see it. You feel like you have to do something. And with the Page of Wands, it's saying you're taking action you're almost looking like other fish in the sea is what I'm feeling here. Like, you'd feel like there's other fish in the sea. You're just going to move on. It's almost like you're assuming the worst so strongly with this person that you're fishing around in a barren landscape, right? You're going to find yourself out in a barren landscape because you are so just convinced that something is wrong. And it's really more of a reflection of you. It's a reflection of your insecurities and I know this is like real talk, okay? And it's tough, and I appreciate you being here. But it's a reflection of your own insecurity that this person, why would they possibly want you? How could this possibly work? This is too good. This person's too nice. There's something wrong. Tell me what something about what Cancer needs to hear to get through this situation. The Page of Pentacles, okay? That's my confirmation card, but there's more than that. And the Two of Wands. This is telling me that everybody here is like new to this. Like, you're learning how to love you, and you're learning how to love them, and they're learning how to love you and themselves. You're holding this person to a standard that is unrealistic. And it's almost like, because they're, you guys are kind of like doing this dance in a novel way. By the way, I just saw 15:15 on the clock here. So take a look at that online. But you guys are, it's almost like you're not giving each other grace. This person might be giving you a lot of grace, but they're confused. You're not giving them any grace. Like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Like, you have a lot of emotional expectations. And that's because I think you feel like your entire life, nobody's been able to meet your expectations, or every time you trusted somebody, they've broken your trust. And maybe even this person has before, this specific person we're talking about, they might have broken your trust previously and then come back around. And so you're getting to a point where you're starting to feel feelings, which for Cancer doesn't take very long, let's be real. But you're getting to a point where you're starting to feel feelings, and because you're feeling feelings, you're like, something is wrong. Something has to be wrong. And so with this Two of Wands, you're really in a stuck energy, and I don't know what to do, at a crossroads here. I think there's part of you that wants to trust this person, but you're nervous, and it's really an unfortunate situation, because I think this person is just completely being honest with you, and is so confused by what the heck is happening here. What advice, Spirit, would you give to my Cancer viewers who are still here, thankfully? What advice would you give to Cancer viewers right now? Spirit, please share. Thank you. Page of Swords, okay? If you really feel like this person is not who they say they are, you can do a little bit of digging. Don't get too crazy with it. Don't like be searching somebody's phone and stuff like that, but try to see them for who they really are. And I think that when you talk with them about this, or you, maybe take a look at some of the things that they've written online before, pictures they posted, you're going to see that they're very genuine and just straight up with how they are. Any investigation you do into this person, which I'm not suggesting you should, but any investigation you do is going to show the same result, which is this person's being truly honest with you. More advice, please, Spirit. Temperance. Yeah, be patient. This is an equal give and take situation. This Temperance card is Sagittarius. But by the way, like I said, the deck is a little bit off, right? So Temperance is normally 14, but this is 15, which is the devil energy. So it could be that there's a little bit of an obsession in you to stalk this person. And I'm hearing, don't do that. Don't get obsessed with that. Just try to see them for who they really are, okay? But also with the Temperance, it's saying, cut them some slack. Give them a little bit of, you got to have a little bit of give here. And I'm not saying be taken for a fool or anything like that. I'm saying just give it a little bit of give. Give this person a little bit of grace, okay? What is the outcome, Spirit, if Cancer continues on the trajectory that they are on right now this week? Devotion. 3 of Wands. And King of Swords. So, what I'm seeing here, Cancer, is you're going to see that this person, if you give it the chance that we're talking about here, give them a little bit of grace, you're going to see this person is actually hopelessly devoted to you in a Grease sort of way, right? Like, this person is really, truly here for business. The 3 of Wands, they see a future with you. They want to see where this is going. And a King of Swords, normally is somebody who is large and in charge and intellectually, with it. I'm not saying you're not, but this is more like a letting those thoughts go. Letting your mind change with these butterflies all flying around. Like, let that loose. Let go of your thoughts that are driving you. And you can have happiness. You see that? With the Sun. And all the way also, 20 is normally Judgment, which is a resurrection energy. So, it's this combination of the Sun, happiness, but also giving another chance. Letting this person show you who they really are and that they really mean business. And to follow our little bit of weird theme here, Cancer, I'm going to pull from this deck that just decided to jump everywhere just to keep things a little weird, a little zesty. This is my Postcards from the Liminal Space deck. So maybe you're getting like dreams about this person. Maybe some of it is like, some people will have dreams about, oh, you cheated me with so-and-so, and then they take that over into real life. Like, they think their partner's really cheated, but they didn't. Okay, we have no one is coming for you and snip, snip. So let's see what that says, okay? The book in this is really one of the best parts. All right, No one is coming for you. Let's see. No one is coming for you. Okay, it's on page 17. So that's a 7 and a 1, which is 8. Strength, Leo energy. Here we are. No one can find you because you don't want to be found. No one is reaching for you because you are not reaching back. And no one can save you but yourself. This is not a punishment, but rather permission to stop wasting energy on performative misery and focus instead on really helping yourself. You are stronger than you think. And what I'm feeling with this and hearing is it takes strength to be vulnerable. And only you can do that. Only you can fix the situation for yourself, because you're putting stuff on this other person that isn't theirs. It's yours. Snip, snip. Page 22. This matter is no longer relevant to the plot. Like tonsils or a tailbone, it is perfectly sane to remove something you do not need if it is hurting you. This action will free all involved parties from further participation in this cosmic drama. If executed in its highest form, this resembles something like forgiveness. So cut out the drama, cut out the scenarios that are running through your mind, like about what this person is doing. You've got to stop this. You've got to put an end to it, or you're gonna have a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I just saw 2112, so take a look at that online as well. So Cancer, this is a very important reading for this coming week. I'm getting like you are the master or mistress of your own fate, and you need to understand that you don't see everything all the time, and sometimes people really do deserve the benefit of the doubt and really do care about you because you are worthy of being loved. I will see you next week, Cancer. Thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, etc. Bye.